And it sounds like in the case we heard with HP Hood, a lot of education, but a lot of one-on-one mentoring with the people that are leading these projects, so you get true engagement throughout the organization of people being involved in these teams and growing and expanding to be able to support you long term. So that's a good sign. Can you, so obviously, you started 10 years ago with no technology, no PCs. And it was funny, as I was walking through the office, I saw one of your admin people, I think, had a large calculator that I'd hear financial people going like a few years ago. So you start with no technology. Now you rely on technology to transform your business. How has this helped? How has this helped your business? Can you help describe that?
Just from when we got to Simonds, the CEO and myself, we knew we needed to put in a new ERP system. We knew we needed to bring technology along, and we started out by bringing Susan on board. But I think, we didn't know what we didn't know, and the prognosis was much bleaker in terms of where we were starting from. So the first piece was understanding. And then the second, I think, was commitment. So we spent a fair amount of time educating people, because if you can imagine, the folks that were there had worked with dumb terminals and green screens all their careers, and so we had to start out with basics like Windows and Outlook and Excel and PowerPoint and those types of things. We spent training time there. We identified a project team that was going to be the movers for our first implementation, and we actually pulled them out of their jobs and backfilled them. So it was a cross-functional project team. We took some people from finance, from customer service, from marketing, sales, and they were actually kind of sequestered and were on the project for about a year. And they actually have become some of our best kind of resident experts in how the systems work. And have been invaluable going forward. Once we had the commitment piece done, we started the build piece. We implemented the ERP system in the first section of our business, and then put the infrastructure in place with the help of Cisco and Atrion. And since then, we've moved that throughout our business. So previous management had done many acquisitions, hadn't integrated them at all. And so, over time, we've integrated all those acquisitions. We've done our own acquisitions and integrated them immediately. And it's provided us with a platform that really, I think, is a competitive advantage. So a great example of that is we were fortunate to have an acquisition in February of this past year. And key to the acquisition, to unlocking the synergies, was our goal on day one was really to put the business on our platform. And when we closed, have kind of a seamless transition with the customers. IT was involved in that from the very start. In fact, I think got a hold of the data. We actually contracted that IT could have the data, but the rest of the company couldn't, so that we could make sure that we understood what we were going to get, that we were getting all the pieces of data we needed to populate our system, that we could put training plans in place. And then as we signed a purchase and sales agreement, we were able to share the data that Susan was able to put into our data warehouse, and the marketing folks and subject matter experts got into the fray. And in 60 days, we were able to go from kind of start to closing the deal, integrating all their data, starting to service customers on our systems, and do manufacturing on our MRP system. And so it was very successful, and it's a tribute to the platform that I think we've built together.
Right. Dave, did you want to add anything about how this has impacted the business by fusing the technology with your corporate strategies?
Yeah, I'm actually the old timer on the panel here. I've been with the company 24 years, so I was using the old green screens and the print papers and the blue stripe papers and all those types of things.
So you're one of the guys we used to make fun of.
That's right. Okay. And when Susan's group really started getting involved with the business, I didn't know we were doing fusion. I just know I had a bunch of people that wanted to know the business, wanted to know who the customers were, wanted to know what my pain points were, and what they could do to help me succeed and grow the business. And one of the key things is making the custom saw blades. We can give a customer a price on a blade before we know how to make it, because we just have to know how much steel is in it, how many they want, what size it is, and when they want it. We can give them a price. But in order to make that saw for the customer, we have to have an incredible amount of specifications. What are they cutting? How fast are they cutting? And it was an incredibly manual process in the past, and we'd have to do it each time. We'd have to do it all over again. So I'm talking with Susan's group, and they said, well, we can probably help you with that. And we ended up working with her group and our product managers, making custom configurators where we could then capture all the information we needed, and they were sensitive to what the specifications were, what the language was that our customers spoke, so we could bridge that with all of our different data tools. And we ended up with a tool that gives us accountability on how long it took us to get the data, so that in communicating with customers, we don't promise them something that can come in 4 weeks when it's going to take us 2 weeks in order to collect all the specifications. So we have an automated email system that flags when something came in, what data points are missing, and when we can actually commit to the customer that, okay, we now know exactly how to make your saw, and we'll start the manufacturing lead time clock at that point.
So it sounds like Susan and her team helped you create the tools to actually run your sales organization and make it more efficient, faster, to be able to respond faster, more agile.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that some of the longtime employees there, we didn't know to ask some questions sometimes. And we'd be going along doing things the old-fashioned way, and her group would come along and we'd be interacting. So we can probably help you with that. And they were very sensitive to understanding the pain points that we had and trying to come up with IT solutions that can help us do better business.